Hello everyone and welcome back to Junyoung Plays. My name is Logan and today we are playing Breath of the Wild. So in today's video we are going to be attempting and exploring the rest of the Akkala region. There's some stuff that I failed to mention in the last video, like this maze shrine that I'm heading to right now. As of the moment, the wind is blowing in my face. Hopefully I'll have enough stamina to get there, otherwise this will be a long trip back. Later on in the video, I'll be exploring the Eldin Region and attempting Divine Beast Rudania. Based upon my trajectory right now, I don't think I'm going to make it. I might have to do a little bit of climbing. Hopefully by the time I get to the wall, I'll have somewhat of the second wheel of stamina, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Almost there and... whew! That was really close, and it just started to rain as well. Man, that's a long way. In order to get to the shrine here, you have to navigate your way through the maze. Most of the enemies that you'll come into contact with are electrical of nature, so be very careful not to touch them. Also, some of these enemies will also be fire enemies. As you guys can see, I got pretty lost inside of this maze and I had to do a lot of backtracking. Overall, it took me about 30 minutes to figure out where the shrine is inside of this maze. It was a little embarrassing, especially since I've done this maze before, but I just couldn't figure it out this time around. Anyways, I'll come back to you guys once I find it. I've finally found the shrine, and outside the storm is only getting worse. One of the few positives of this journey is once you enter the shrine, you will be receiving the Barbarian Helm. Once you find all 3 pieces of the Barbarian set, your attack will drastically increase. Another reason why you guys should come to this location is because once you finish this shrine, an area underground will open up. Jumping down this hole will reveal that there is a secret basement underneath the maze. Bear in mind that in this basement there are a lot of guardians, so just be very careful where you step. You can wear the champion's tunic to locate where the guardians are. Once you locate the guardians, you'll notice that some of the guardians are stalkers and some of the guardians are decayed. For the decayed guardians, all you need to do is hit the beam back at them and they'll instantaneously be destroyed. Just as a reminder, you can also use ancient arrows, however I would suggest you save them for a later date. Also, you guys may notice that there is a chest right in the middle of the secret basement lit up by some torches. Opening up this chest in the middle of a room on top of a podium that are lit up by torches, yeah, it doesn't scream trap at all. In the chest is the diamond circlet, and the diamond circlet will give you guardian resistance up. However, opening up this chest is a trap, activating all the guardians. If you guys don't want to get blown up like I just did, I would suggest you guys take out the guardians one at a time. In this area alone, there are 4 decayed guardians and 2 stalker guardians. Because of their mobility and health, the guardian stalkers are more dangerous. I would encourage you to take them out before anything else. Once you defeat the guardian stalkers, focus your time on defeating the decayed guardians. As I said previously, all you have to do is deflect the beam back at them and they will be destroyed. Finally, in the same area, there is an EX chest, and the EX chest will have the travel medallion. The travel medallion is a mysterious tool that allows you to place a waypoint anywhere on the map. You can treat that waypoint as a teleportation area. You will have to be actively at the area in order to place it down, and if you want to put the travel medallion down at a different location, it will overwrite the previous one. In the last episode I covered Fang and Bone, but I lost the footage, so I went back to Fang and Bone and I bought this Goblin mask. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to show you guys how Fang and Bone works. In order to purchase stuff from Kilton's shop, you first have to get Mon. And Mon is essentially a made up currency that Kilton himself made up in honor of his love for monsters. You can get Mon by selling your monster parts to him. However, I would be very aware of what you're trying to sell to him, because a lot of times you need these monster parts to upgrade your armor. If you are willing to get rid of some of your monster parts, try not to sell all of them just in case you need them for your armor upgrades. Once you obtain Mon, you can now spend that Mon in Kilton's shop. Kilton's shop will change as the game goes on, so always come back if you have time. As of right now, I'm buying the Moblin mask, and I'm going to show you guys how the Goblin mask and the Moblin mask work. Wearing the Goblin mask will disguise you amongst all Goblins. Typically speaking, this silver Goblin right here would normally attack me if I don't wear my mask, but because I'm wearing this mask, I'm hidden from sight from him. The same effect happens if you wear the Moblin mask towards Moblins. This Moblin would typically be aggro against Link, but wearing this mask will hide Link from the Moblin. Next up in the video is we are now going to explore the Eldin Region. Like all my other videos, we are going to the tower so we can have a better idea on the landscape of the area. Once we get to the tower, we'll also be able to see any landmark that stands out. I'm very excited to get started. Here we go. The danger is with this tower is that you are very close to an active volcano, meaning that you will burn if you get too close to it. There are a couple ways you can avoid getting burned, both of which are going to be mentioned later on in this video. Let's go ahead and climb this tower though. Other than burning, there weren't really any obstructions while climbing this tower, making this tower relatively easy to climb. 2 points of interest you find right off the bat is the stable and the shrine next to it. The reason why I mentioned the stable is if you talk to this woman named Gale, she will offer to sell you fireproof elixirs. Fireproof elixirs will allow you to travel to the Goron city without getting burned. However, you won't be able to get there with only one elixir. You will need multiple elixirs to get the job done. There is no way I'm going to be paying this much for this elixir, so what's going to happen now is I'm going to show you guys how to create a fireproof elixir. By buying one fireproof elixir, I'll be able to see the recipe. The recipe is 2 fireproof lizards and 1 Bokoblin horn. At this point, you should have a lot of Bokoblin horns, and fireproof lizards are very easy to find in this area. You can use the Sheikah sensor also to track down fireproof lizards if you're having trouble. Once you have collected all the ingredients, you can go back to any cooking station so you can make a fireproof elixir. If you use only 1 fireproof lizard and a Bokoblin horn, the potion will be weaker, but it will still be a fireproof elixir. Armed with the fireproof elixirs, you can now explore the Eldin Region. Inside of the Eldin Region, you will find a place called the Southern Mine. You will find the mine as you follow the path to Goron City. As you explore the mine, you will also bump into a Goron named Greyson, and Greyson will lament to you that he doesn't really want to break rocks in this area anymore and wonders if his strength could be used somewhere else. You can mention Tarrey Town to Greyson, and Greyson will gladly accept your offer to use his strength elsewhere. He will be bringing his brother Pelson with him, and just as a reminder, both Greyson and Pelson have SON in their name, which is in accordance with the Bolson construction policy. Another person that's really important in this area is Kima. Talking to Kima, he will offer you heat-resistant armor if you give him 10 fireproof lizards. Fireproof lizards are everywhere in this area. In fact, you don't need to leave this area to get all 10. This is also a great way to get the armor without paying 600 rupees at Goron City. Once you arrive back at Tarrey Town, you will notice that the Goron brothers set up a shop called More and Ore. You can then talk to Hudson and give him 20 bundles of wood so he can continue the construction of Tarrey Town. He will then ask you to find a tailor amongst the Gerudo, and just as a reminder, the Bolson construction policy, the name has to end with son. After talking to Hudson, you can head back to the Eldin Region, and as I follow the road, I'll make it all the way to Goron City. One of the first things you should do while you're in Goron City is purchase the Flamebreaker armor sets. Just as a reminder, if you talk to the man Kina located at the Southern Mine and give him 10 fireproof lizards, you should already have the Flamebreaker armor. Wearing all pieces of the Flamebreaker armor will give you flame resistance, therefore you can now explore the Eldin Region without the fear of being burned and without drinking a fireproof elixir. Having said that, up in the northern Eldin Region is the Gutcheck Rock. By talking to the Goron Beiji on top of Gutcheck Rock, you can start a minigame in which you have to climb a huge pillar and collect 100 rupees. The higher you go, the more value rupees you will find. Green rupees cost 1, blue rupees cost 5, and red rupees cost 20. In order to do this challenge effectively and efficiently, I would encourage you guys to have at least 2 bars of stamina in order to get up the rock. If you do not have 2 bars of stamina, you can always use the ledges here that are littered across the rock as footstools so you can replenish your stamina. The best part about this challenge is you will be able to keep the rupees that you obtain while climbing up. You can also wear the climbing armor set to make this challenge easier. Also in the northern Eldin region, you can head over to the Eldin Great Skeleton, and at the Eldin's Great Skeleton, you will find the dragon Dinraal. Dinraal will spawn in this area from 6 in the morning to 8 in the morning, so make sure you come here so you can harvest all of its parts. You will need Dinraal's scale to access the Spring of Power, and that's where I'm going to head on next. Like the Spring of Wisdom, if you hold Dinraal's scale and throw it into the water, you will be able to access the shrine that's behind the praying statue. Inside of the shrine will be a major test of strength, and you will be fighting a level 4 Guardian Scout. On average, it takes about 3 weapons in full durability to take out the Scout. Once the Guardian Scout gets up to 10% of its health, it will shoot a beam at you. All you need to do is just redirect the beam so you won't have to waste your weapon durability. If you travel east from Goron City, you will find the Goron Hot Springs. The Goron Hot Springs are very important because if you are at low health, you can bathe in the hot waters to regain your hearts. You do not need to go to the Goron Hot Springs to find the hot bodies of water. They are all around the Eldin region. Finally, the last thing to do in the Eldin region is to attempt Divine Beast Rudania. I'm very excited to get started. Here we go. In order to attempt Divine Beast Rudania, first you have to find Yunobo, who is getting painkillers for the Goron boss. Yunobo is a Goron youth who also happens to be a direct descendant from the Goron champion Daruk, who piloted Divine Beast Rudania. As of now, he is trapped inside the vault because of the magma bombs that Divine Beast Rudania shoots out every so often. What's that? Don't touch the lever? I'm going to touch the lever. Anyways, in order to get Unibo outside of the vault, you have to use the cannons. So what you could do is you could fly over to this cannon, place a bomb in, aim it, and then fire. Once you release Unibo outside the vault, you can meet up with the boss, who will tell you to meet him up at the Eldin Bridge. Once you meet Unibo at the Eldin Bridge, it will quickly transition into an escort mission, where you whistle to keep Unibo safe from the drones that Divine Beast Rudania sends out. If caught by the drones, Divine Beast Rudania will send magma bombs hurling down the mountain. As you are escorting Unibo up Death Mountain, you will notice that there's cannons. You have to use these cannons to shoot Unibo at Divine Beast Rudania. Hitting Divine Beast Rudania 3 times will cripple it enough and allow you to board the Divine Beast. Once you board, you will be in complete darkness, and you can navigate the innards of Divine Beast Rudania by opening up a treasure chest that contains a torch if you don't have one. In order to open up all the doors, you would have to light the brazier that's next to that door. Then, afterwards, you will have control of Divine Beast Rudania. Similar to Divine Beast Ruta, you will have to track down 5 terminals in order to access the main one, which is located on the back of the Divine Beast. You can get to all the terminals by rotating Divine Beast Rudania to its side or on its belly. Finding the first terminal is easy enough. All you need to do is rotate Divine Beast Rudania over to its belly, and the first terminal is behind these 2 metal doors. The second terminal is also easy to find. All you need to do is shift Rudania over on its side. The third terminal I found was a little more tricky. What you have to do here is you have to shoot an arrow through this little hole to light up the brazier right here. After that, you have to light an arrow or shoot a fire arrow up above on the ceiling so you can get access to a metal box that's trapped by leaves. You can then use this metal box to block the fire and get into the next room and use the terminal. The 4th terminal that I found was on the outside of Divine Beast Rudania. All you need to do is shoot an Eye of Malice and then you'll gain access to this terminal. The last terminal that I found was a little bit tricky. All you have to do is take a torch and light it with a blue fire. Then you have to take it to this brazier and light it as well. Once you do all of that, an ancient ball will roll down the respective tube, and all you have to do now is return back to the area where the tube ends. Once you're back to the area, all you need to do is use your magnesis tool to open up the seal and wait for the ancient ball to get to the platform so you can access the next terminal. After you find all 5 terminals on Divine Beast Rudania, you can go to the central command system. It is here that you're going to have to fight Fireblight Ganon. Fireblight Ganon took out the Goron champion Daruk, and it's now your job to take him out and avenge the defeats. Unlike the fight in Divine Beast Ruta, you will have a lot of space to work with in order to avoid his attacks. You can also use ancient weapons to make this fight a lot easier. Out of all the Blight Ganons that you'll fight in the game, the Fireblight Ganon is by far the easiest. As long as you keep your distance from Fireblight Ganon and charge it when you have opportunities when you stun him, you should get past the first wave no problem. The second wave of Fireblight Ganon looks intimidating, but in actuality it is very simple to get past. All you need to do is, as it's charging for its supernova attack, you just switch over to your bomb and then throw your bomb into the supernova and explode it. If the supernova does get launched, all you need to do is take out the supernova with an arrow. Using all of these tips, you shouldn't even get hit once. All you need to do now is rinse and repeat, and Fireblight Ganon will easily get defeated. After defeating this Ganon, the champion Daruk will show up in spirit form and offer you Daruk's Protection. Daruk's Protection is a passive skill, and all you need to do to activate it is to hold the ZL button. You will have 3 charges in which you can block any incoming attack from any enemy. Finally, the last thing you could do in this area is go back to the boss, and the boss will give you the Boulder Breaker, which was Daruk's weapon back 100 years ago. Alright everyone, that is the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching this series. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to post last week. Life just got really busy. Hopefully my uploading schedule will be the same starting now. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Have a good one.